Hey everybody, this is Brett from Go Folk Yourself podcast. Just as a warning for the little ears in the room, this podcast is rated E for explicit. That means we'll be saying things like fudge and shnikes.
Oh, hi. Hi, everyone. It's me, Ethan. I'm here, recording. I'm all by myself. No, I'm just kidding. There's Dan. And Nick's there, too. Victor is also here. I swear to God. They are here, folks. Or is it a conspiracy? Does that tie in with what I'm talking about today? All right, we're at 30 seconds. I swear to God. There are 3 other people here, and they're just not saying anything. So I'm just going to dive into the subject. Conspiracy theories.
Conspiracy theories!
I see, I gotcha. God damn it. So I was talking with
I hope that actually scared people at home.
I hope so,
That was
too.
just
Yeah.
fight.
Yeah.
They're like, oh man, Ethan's real quiet.
Damn, is Ethan okay? This is kind of real, like, creepy
If
vibes.
he's like truly alone, who edited this?
So I got this idea because I was talking to a friend of mine. Yeah, I have friends. The other day.
Yeah, we're all
Does
here.
Ted count?
Ted counts.
Okay.
And I
He
said,
doesn't talk much, but he listens real well.
and I
listener.
said, Ted, what do you think? No, I was talking the other day, and we've all probably thought about this or had this happen at some point. And it's puberty. No. Where
Not yet, but soon. I'm hoping. Fingers crossed.
It'll happen.
It's
But-
coming. I got my first pube the other day. I'm real excited.
No,
Is
noise.
it supposed to be curly and gray?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Right? And it's that conspiracy theories, some of them are fun still, but the sort of amount of, I'm trying to find the right way to put it, the amount of like delving you can go into conspiracy theories has like been shortened exponentially before you're delving into the alt-right
Oh, yes.
and
Oh, yeah.
QAnon. Like they used to be.
They're making the frogs gay.
Yeah.
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 I've got a pretty solid Alex
That was
Jones
a really good
impersonation.
I feel like
You let me know any conspiracy you want me to Alex Jones up throughout this. I'll try it out because I just surprised myself.
Yeah.
it may just be me, but growing up in the 90s, watching X-Files and stuff, like, oh, they're fun. And
Yes.
then 9/11 happened, and like, oh, now they're like, okay, the
Oh, they're
government does
bad.
horrible
Yeah.
things. And all right,
You
now-
tell me how jet fuel melts iron.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Okay.
It's just like,
I'm an American.
And now I realize how people in the 50s and 40s were like, no, the moon landing's fake. I'm like, all right, man, there's a lot of people that died to
Yeah.
go over the moon. That's
Did you
kind
say
of
40s and 50s?
or 60s, I meant, sorry.
You mean like 70s because it was 69? So
yeah,
like,
okay, yeah, right there.
you know.
Nice.
Nice.
Also, that also is still happening today. People
Yeah,
who
I
don't
know.
think we made it to the moon.
Yeah.
There's a whole documentary explaining
Yeah.
how Kubrick was like
Yeah.
trying to tell us with The Shining that he faked it.
But I feel
Yes.
like those people.
The thing. That's a documentary
Yeah, it is.
that was on Netflix.
Yeah,
Of course it is.
but they with the internet, I guess I don't want to blame the internet entirely, but with the internet, it's like they can all like chat with each other now openly.
As
Yeah.
Childish Gambino said, because the internet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, who I think is Donald Glover, but that's another.
I haven't seen them in the same place
yeah.
at the same time. No,
Yeah,
that's a very good
exactly.
point.
Yeah.
Is that an alt-right conspiracy?
It is.
Oh.
No, I don't know. But Victor brought up exactly what my friend, who is real, thought the other day.
Okay.
And it's that the X-Files. With the X-Files, you know, they'd have the Monster of the Week. They'd have different.
Best episodes, by the way.
Yeah, right?
Monster of the Week episodes
Yeah.
Yeah.
lived for those.
Oh, they were great. And then as time went on, I guess maybe it was 9/11 that kind of changed it. It stopped being fun after a certain point when
Yeah.
they were like,
Tragedies.
yeah,
Yeah,
yes.
people put them to tragedies. That's what I think is
Yeah.
like Sandy Hook and other stuff. People associate, like, there's conspiracies with every tragedy now, and you're like, no, man, it's supposed to be like, the Moth Man and the Chupacabra. Okay.
So if I can actually, because I know you said you didn't want to blame the internet. I don't actually blame the internet at all.
Oh, good.
The internet is just an open source for people to communicate.
Yeah, it's
sure,
literally just a medium.
it connected crazies to one another.
Yeah.
But I actually truthfully believe that the reason conspiracies have gotten to the point that they are is a natural evolution of our media system.
Yeah.
Because our media is based on what sells. And what sells? Tragedy.
Yeah.
Right? Tragedy, these like car chases,
violence.
right? Violence, these things that you can't turn away from. So it's only natural that you're bombarded with this enough that all of a sudden you start crafting conspiracy theories around the thing you're seeing.
Well, not only that, but the obsession, like the present both sides mentality. There might be several sides to a story, but pretty often one of them is inherently right. And there's a lot of trepidation in the media to be like, to not say, hey, this is what really happened. Here's just some other, wacko that wants to like spout some
They
shit
used to do
off.
it in black and white news too. They would pour water on the street of a car accident and make it look like blood. Like
Sure.
they used to do stuff like that too.
Oh yeah, and I'm not saying
Yeah.
that like that wasn't always the case, but it's definitely, especially with like cable news being on all day,
24,
and there being people who think that by watching it all day they're staying informed.
Yeah.
When the opposite is true.
It's the opposite. They're
Yeah.
literally being fed something over and over and over. And so that's why, like, to me, Alex Jones is an example of a person who watched Fox and said, but they're not giving me enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know there's more, and I'm going to create an audience that because I know the answers, or some of them, and I know there are people like me who want more answers.
Yeah.
So I will be that supplement for them.
Yeah, it really seems like Alex Jones is every asshole in some small fucking town gas station who just found a platform. Because we've all met Alex Joneses. Like you go on a road trip and you have to stop and get gas, and there's some loudmouth asshole yelling inside the Tom Thumb or whatever.
Holy shit! I had this the other day at the. There's a gas station right near this apartment. Whereas this was 2 days ago, I'm standing in line, and the guy behind me is just very vocally being like, man, they're moving real slow today in here, aren't they?
Yes.
And it's like, buddy,
Why?
this is one person working at a gas station at 10 p.m. Like, let's
you in a
not make
rush?
their life more difficult.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I imagine they've already got some tough things to deal with here.
Yes.
like working in a gas station.
That is
Yeah.
that is absolutely
But
what
yes,
Alex Jones is.
It's that, but he's created a platform for it where he acts like he's the most informed man in the room.
Yeah.
And so those conspiracies, like the one I thought of immediately when you brought the alt-right in was Pizzagate.
Yes, that was the one I wanted to talk about. Yeah.
Pizzagate, I would have loved in the 90s. I would have loved that as like on Weekly World News cover where it's like, oh, there's a pizza parlor in New York that might be trafficking children. And
Yeah.
you read it and you're just like, okay.
Wow.
Cool. Let's
That's
let's
wild.
read through
That's
this
a real
thing that
nonsense and
happened?
see what
I
they
did
put
not-
together.
Yeah.
Like a real story they ran with?
Yes,
Yeah. I did
and
not hear
that
about
pizza
Pizzagate.
parlor
Yeah, I
was
heard about it,
owned and
never heard the story.
operated by the Clintons.
Yeah.
Oh.
The Clinton
That was-
Foundation ran it, and
Yeah.
it was a sex child ring in the basement.
Jesus Christ.
Did you want the pepperoni? Wink, wink.
Yeah, exactly. Which, by the way, it has a horrible ending. A dude showed up
Yep.
with an assault rifle
Yep.
to this pizza place, and I hope he didn't kill anybody, but he fired off some rounds, and he was like, "Show me your basement." Fucking pizza place didn't have a basement. There's
Yeah.
no basement.
Jesus Christ.
So it's
none
just-
of it was true. But the thing is, so you just heard this right now for the first time, Victor. You're a
Yeah.
fresh mind in this. Sounds really fucking ridiculous and implausible, right?
Tabloid, I assume tabloid story.
Sure.
Yeah.
This caught fire on
Yeah.
the internet.
Yeah.
This was everywhere on 4chan.
Yeah.
People were certain this was true.
Yeah, they were posting all these bizarre details and like, oh, well, this is the evidence. If you see this,
Really?
this and this, and it's kind of ruined some conspiracy theories because they're just not. It's just not fun anymore because it's like, oh, now people are showing up with guns to the pizza place. Or another one was
Yeah, I think it's that conspiracies have become more digestible for
Yeah.
us, right? Like we used to like hear it and go, okay,
yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Right? Like
You used to have like your town crazy, like, well, there's Steve. He walks around with the aluminum foil on.
he's
mumbling
always
to
screaming
himself.
about the government reading his mind.
Yeah.
And now you have people who are all like, hey, you know what? The tin hat guy might have been right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're growing.
Well,
Yeah, but-
they'd rather have an answer than not have one, right?
Right.
Like it's always that guy that's like, oh, it's the same that we deal with in multiple industries of work, like anyone's like, oh, well, they just do that with the cars, so they break down and you buy parts. And you're like, okay, man, I got it. And like it's a whole rig. They do it on purpose. Like your Ford breaks down, so you have to buy parts for it every year. And I'm like, I don't think it's on purpose. I think it's just.
I think you just never changed your oil.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, actually, here I'm just going to go ahead and put this out there for anybody who has a similar thought to that, of the idea that the things you buy are made to break by a certain time, so you buy a new one. Hey, consumerism has run rampant across the globe, and companies have to make shit quickly.
Yeah.
Because the demand is not to take their time. The days of the bespoke tailored jacket is no longer here.
Yeah.
Now people want their jacket the same day.
Yeah.
Right? You walk in and you want it same day, which means they're making it cheaper.
That's such a good analogy.
Everyone's making it cheaper because everyone wants it faster. Amazon is not helping this. You want it delivered same day from Prime.
Yeah.
Now, 2 days seems like a fucking eternity.
2 days?
Exactly.
I need my dog biscuits
I pay for
now.
Prime.
No, I want
damn
it
it.
today.
Everything is moving quicker, so everything's being made cheaper. It's not that they are hoping that it breaks. It's that they just have to keep pumping it out.
Not even that. Just like if you want things to get better and faster and, whatever, like, yeah, your old shit is going to seem worse.
Yeah.
So what's another conspiracy?
Another big one is Dan actually mentioned it earlier, turning the frogs gay. That there was some, I'm going to fuck up the details, but there was some nuclear power plant, there was something going in the water at the specific location in America, and it kind of relates to chemtrails. Have you heard about
It's
those?
literally probably just the cooling water,
chemtrails.
right?
Yeah.
Fucking chemtrails.
Before we get to chemtrails, the water was making the frogs fuck each other of the same gender.
Yeah.
So instead of a frog and a pig, as Jim Henson intended, it's two frogs that are boys.
Two frogs.
Two
But
Kermits.
the idea being that if it does that to the frogs, what's it doing to us?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What's it doing to us?
and so-
have you seen a lot more gay people?
And of course, because
That's awful.
now gay people don't have to live in the same fear they used to,
Yes.
and can
Yeah.
be out
Yeah.
and open.
So it came
people are saying
corresponding.
it's the same bullshit.
Yeah.
With that anti-vax nonsense.
Yes.
Of the there's so many more autistic people now.
That I
No,
can-
there isn't. It's that we now know
were
how to have a
misdiagnosed.
discussion.
So as
have a name
as a
for it.
parent that just got his child's last vaccination done, there are so many people that love to tell you, "Oh, I never did that." I was like, why did you not
what?
read the 10-page packet that's both sided that talks about polio
Yeah.
and all the other awful diseases that children get that kill them before the age of 10? Before there was vaccination.
Do we want to go back to an era where every married couple needs to have 10 kids so that they can hope to keep 2?
Yeah.
Like,
My
is that what we
grandfather
want?
was that. We had 12 kids. I think 8 of them survived.
Yeah, exactly.
And 2 of them had horrible lives growing up. Like, it's not great.
Not only that, like the implication that you would rather take the chance that somebody's kid gets fucking polio or something instead of being autistic.
Yeah.
What the hell?
That's the thing that kills me is even if it was true, even if you did all this bullshit and it was absolutely true, and
even if it was a 50%.
It's just a spectrum. Like, it's a communication.
Yeah,
It's not they're completely disabled.
You'd rather them just like die of polio or any other just tons of diseases that we have cured with vaccinations. You're like, well, I don't want them to be autistic. My God.
If they're autistic, I won't know how to communicate with them naturally anymore.
Then they'd be weird.
I would rather them be like FDR.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
He was a great guy.
That guy got to be president with polio.
When I
so
hear
fuck you.
polio, I think
Because of
FDR.
polio.
And you know what? I liked him.
I liked it.
And I'm not saying to each parent do whatever the hell you want. Just don't tell me what to do with my kid. Like that. Shit
That's
is just-
ultimately-
that's what I get annoyed
yeah.
with.
Well, that's
is like,
parenting in general,
Yeah.
isn't it? Like, I
yeah,
feel
in
like
general, it's just like that's a golden rule we should all stick by to.
that's
It's
a
like-
great 30 Rock joke.
Yeah.
Is the episode where Liz Lemon is on a parenting blog,
Yeah.
and she finds out that she's been arguing online with her husband.
Oh, yeah,
who was
that's-
also on that same parenting blog. But like they are having an argument and they
amazing.
meet to fight in the park. but like that's parenting in general. Every
Yeah.
parent thinks they know how they did it best. Right?
Yeah.
Like they've got the best advice. When in reality, man, I'm speaking to a new parent and a soon-to-be new parent.
Yeah, me, Ethan.
Guess what?
I had sex, everyone. Please.
I'm
go
just saying
on.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen a baby, so we can't verify it.
That's true.
Conspiracy.
True.
Yeah.
The fact is, no matter what you do, it's never gonna be perfect.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
You're gonna
No.
fuck up.
Well, I mean,
your
my
parents
kid will be
fucked up at
perfect.
some point or another.
Always.
My parents fucked up.
Clearly,
Nick's
all of ours
fucked up.
did if we're on this damn podcast.
Also, to be fair,
Absolutely.
Nick's mom did not fuck up. She's perfect. I love her because
yeah,
I
because
also
she
know
actually
she
listens
listens
to
to this show.
That's true. If
So-
anyone's the best one, it's Nick.
Yeah,
And it's
Nick is
due-
easily the most
wholesome
well-rounded
one.
and well-raised of all of us.
Guys,
and
I'm
it's
blushing.
and it's thanks to his mother.
Yeah, 100%.
Also, Brett's mom, doesn't she listen? Brett's fine.
Does she?
I don't know.
He sends,
Brett turned
he
out
sends
fine.
it to her.
Okay, they're
Yeah,
good.
Brett, you know what? We're all good. Except for the three of us whose parents don't listen.
Don't listen.
Our parents clearly don't love us. So,
They're like, I've heard it.
anyway.
Okay. So yeah, the baby Olympics. I've heard about. I got to avoid those where
Wait, what now?
Your kid will start going into daycare, and you'll meet other parents,
And it grows up to be Michael Phelps.
And you'll,
Oh, it's always erased, by the way. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, have they done this yet? And
yes,
you're like,
that's what I'm talking about.
have they done this? Well, does your baby know sign? And you're like, oh, fuck yourself.
He knows he's a Gemini, so go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
He
So
knows
I know
the
I have
middle
to.
finger.
I know I have to avoid those. Anyway,
Yeah, you
back to
just take it with a grain of salt.
yeah, right.
You're not going to be able to avoid it.
You,
I'm gonna-
You're
Whoa.
competitive by nature. You've got it in you.
That's true.
You're
My
gonna,
kid
you're
already-
gonna buy
Isn't your
into
brother
it.
having a kid at the
Yeah,
same time?
exactly,
Oh, that's
yeah.
what you gotta.
Yeah, you-
We have to make a
That-
conscious effort not to have
That
the
is- yeah.
babies.
Yeah,
fight
yeah,
each
yeah.
other.
Although, can I just say, I love that you guys are going to have like little cousins who are actually close in age.
Are
Yeah.
Irish
I do
cousins
too.
a thing? I don't think they are. but-
Irish cousins?
Yeah, since they're going to be born.
I think
Months
the Irish
apart.
people invented having a lot of kids at the same
Yeah.
time.
I think that's Catholics in general.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Anyway,
Go forth and prosper.
What
and
other
Mormons.
conspiracy
well, I mean, I
Catholic
feel like
Church.
anti-vax is a really important one
Yeah,
to actually
that's
stop
what-
on
oh,
for a
shit.
bit.
Yeah.
Like,
That's the story I was going to tell. I took an Uber in D.C.
Yeah.
because I'm really fancy. And this lady went off on a rant about how her kid never had a single vaccination. And now he's 12 and he's 6'4" and he's on the football team.
That's genetics.
And he's making all A's. And he's
That's
incredible.
not genetics.
And it's
bad school.
no, it's also genetics. It is
Yeah,
genetics.
genetics.
and
Yeah.
it's
It's
also
100%
this lady's
genetics.
fucking lying because
Yeah.
it's like
Well, not to mention, yes, your kid might be 12 years old, 10 feet tall, and fucks every
Fucking
girl
Paul
in the school.
Bunyan.
It doesn't matter.
Wow.
That is
Yeah.
one anecdote. An anecdote does not disprove the whole.
exactly. And it was just a trip because it took a turn because she was talking to me and Madison and she was just talking about her kid and I was like, oh, that's really great. And she's like, yeah. And it's all thanks to not having a single vaccination.
Also,
and
when
I was
he
like,
has
oh, we're
chickenpox
here.
at 24 and it's a serious illness and he's in the hospital.
Yeah.
That
like-
he can thank her for that.
Somehow, anti-vaxxers have become what like Christian proselytization looked
Yeah,
like in
it's
the
really weird.
1900s.
Yes.
Right? Like,
Well, and also,
19th
I
century,
hear-
sorry,
I hate
1800s.
Anti-vaxxers also like, and I didn't listen to some quack doctor. I'm like, when do doctors? Why are they
When did they
quacks?
become quacks?
Why is that?
well, now, so this is where we need to go into the root of conspiracies, right?
Yeah.
So the idea then becomes that doctors are gatekeepers of knowledge.
Right.
Right?
Oh, yeah. Like
And
the
that's
priest.
what people
they
are
know,
afraid of.
and they're parts of big pharma. That's what.
And that's what people are afraid of is they're getting charged a lot by doctors.
Yeah.
And they believe that doctors know more than they're saying, which, fun fact, they do, but because of our malpractice laws and the amount
Yeah.
of shit that doctors have to be careful about
Yeah.
saying, they can't say.
They can't tell you every probability of what it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They can't say, like, I don't know. I don't really have a good example for this
I mean,
scenario. But
there's never going to be a doctor worth his salt that says like, do this. There's a 100% chance no shit will go wrong.
Well,
yeah.
And nobody wants to take on that crippling fear to say like a choice I made harmed my child.
There was
Yeah.
an
Of
awkward
course that's
thing with
scary.
when we did the vaccination with doctors like, so when we're getting up to that point, because you see the doctor really a lot when you first have your child.
Right.
And then they were like, so we're going to do this unless, is there questions? Like, it was such a weird, like, hot button thing.
Conversation.
Yeah, it was awkward. And I
fucking
love my
crazy.
child's doctor. Like,
yeah, I can't wait to have that conversation myself because I'm just going to be like, no, like literally
Yeah.
every vaccine you've got, even the experimental ones.
Yeah.
I want them.
Give me the good shit.
Hell, give him birth
Yeah.
control. I know he's a boy. I don't care.
and we
Fuck
we
it.
just spaced it out, like, not that whatever, like, we did it in like a span of 3 months, like you're supposed to.
Yeah.
And
I want it
certain
same
things.
day.
Yeah,
All
same,
of it.
all of it.
Same day.
Just
All
give me the canon of
The worst
Yeah.
day of my kid's life. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
let's
they-
get it out of the way.
Yeah.
That way, later when they're dealing with like heartbreak, they'll be like, "This is the worst day ever." I'll be like, "No, the worst
When
day
you
was
were
the
a
day that I
baby."
gave you 25 injections and you were fucking real sick. You vomited for hours.
You just turned pink and swelled up.
You
It
were
was
so
weird.
Here are the pictures. Let's scroll through them.
I brought a baby to the doctor and I took a pimple home.
Yeah.
It is awful though when they go through the shots though. They're like
Yeah.
just a hot mess. But yeah, I don't understand that whole concept of people like mistrusting their doctors for that reason. For me, I'm like, no, you went to med school and you did a lot of other things and you have experience in this. I'm going to trust you.
Hang
in
on.
this.
I got to pause you here then. Because you're a big fan of government conspiracies.
I am a big fan of certain government.
So what is the
conspiracies.
difference between questioning a doctor's validity and questioning a politician's validity?
One of them is alien, so
Government conspiracies to me, because my belief in them is that military personnel will execute orders without questions.
Right.
And there has been declassified things where people are doing, like, for example, Dan, take this piece of paper, write a number 3 on it, and fax it every day. And then this number means that number. So the way the military works, for example, I think I shared my dad's Cold War story here, right? He got codes. He would translate the codes, submit the codes. If he got this code, that means we were going to war with Russia. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, there's people in the government that will do orders that are a small piece of the cog. And I believe in that to some degree.
Sure, but that's the safety of it, right? That's
Yeah.
the system checking itself.
Yeah.
Right? And so then to that same point, and I was actually expecting you
Yeah.
to say this thing, but I'll say another popular reason why people don't trust the government is they look at politicians and say, yeah, but anybody can be a politician. That's the cornerstone of our fucking democracy. That's the point.
Yeah.
Right?
Is that
Like
anybody?
that's incredibly important that it isn't something that like is restricted from everyone. Anyone could say, I want
wanna
to
do
step
this.
up and try.
Yeah.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like that's
Long-time listener.
crucial. That's crucial. But so many
first
people.
fan.
Yeah, she's actually one of our patrons. So
Yeah.
thank you
Yeah.
so much.
I love you, Alex.
AOC, you're all right with
Cease and
me.
desist so fast.
Please explain.
No, she'll
podcasts
share
to
shit like
Bernie.
this all the time.
Yeah, we'll tag her in this.
Podcast
To Bernie. We'd love Bernie to listen to. That'd be fun.
Yeah, can you tell Bernie we'd
download
love to
that
talk
app.
to him? He can come on Sour Notes where we eat sour candy and
it
talk about
affects him
things that are important.
none at all.
He won't even fucking flinch.
What
I'm
is
calling
this?
it now. What
This is because the government doesn't understand us. What's
This is good candy.
Is this some sort of sour
perfectly
candy?
fine.
I don't
When
understand.
I was a kid, I used to walk to a corner store that sold candy like this for a nickel a pop.
It was fantastic.
And you know what? Kids today don't know what it's like to have a nickel a pop candy.
And it's a huge problem.
This is so close to like a Christopher Lloyd Doc Brown thing, and I'm loving it.
Yeah.
Bernie,
Buddy, your kids are assholes.
we gotta tax the rich.
But so like the amount of people who look at politicians and think they're just it's all backroom dealings.
Yeah.
They are serving these personal interests. Like
They're
none
called
of them.
lobbyists and super PACs. That's
Sure,
all it is. Yeah.
and it's because lobbyists and super PACs, we don't fucking know what they do.
No.
Like,
Yeah.
we unless you're in them,
Mysterious.
you don't get to see it.
Right.
So we've painted a narrative of conspiracy. When
Yeah.
fun fact, do you know what most lobbyists are doing?
What?
Hey, I want to take you out to a really nice dinner. Hey, I got you this gift. Hey, by the way, here's the platform we're working on. We would love your support.
Yeah, it's literally like, hey, I'm Nick here from the People Who Like Video Games Union. Do you want to go to dinner and talk to me about it? Okay.
And that's
Great.
it.
I'm a lobbyist.
The
now.
end.
I
And
can
the
just-
lobbyist, of course, says we have this many people that we influence. This many voters
Yeah.
are in our sphere.
Right.
Right? It's worth it to be our friend. And that's all they're doing.
Yeah.
Now, in that moment, if you have a politician who is turning themselves over to special interests, you vote them out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mitch McConnell.
The end.
I don't
right?
understand. Should I vote for the guy who's always been doing it?
Mitch McConnell, Lindsey
Well, they're all the
Graham,
same.
Ted Cruz, Marco Rubio, all of those fucks. You can literally look up
Yeah.
different
Yeah.
dealings they have with the NRA. You
And
can
they
look
give
up
them
how
anything,
much they've
yeah.
been given.
Yeah.
And the thing of it is, here's the beauty of it. This is not a conspiracy. This is
Yes.
fucking proven.
It's right there.
It's there, but because conspiracy theories have become so popular,
Yeah.
the same
Yeah.
people who are spouting one side's conspiracy theories are discrediting fact as
Yeah.
conspiracy theories, as if it's ridiculous to believe a conspiracy
Well,
theory.
it's all Illuminati, Dan.
Yeah.
Like the lobbyists is
Obviously,
just all part of
Beyonce.
one big lobby.
yeah, the Masons.
I will
Yeah.
say one of my favorite moments of Alex Jones, who's a huge piece of shit, and he would talk about the wackiest fucking conspiracy theories. He's like the worst human on the planet. When someone asked him about Trump and Russia, he said, I don't see it. I don't see how they're connected. That's not a. I don't get that at all. Meanwhile, chemtrails he would launch these wild things, but this thing that is so fucking obvious.
That's literally mounting.
Yeah.
As each day goes on.
He knows his base. He knows who he's drawing.
So
in.
it's just very silly.
I don't know. My problem is at a certain point, people who do that, people like Alex Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's awful.
He has to like. I'm going to say it. Alex Jones is not dumb.
No,
he's not dumb. He has built a cult of personality, which is something that takes a lot of curation and effort.
Yeah.
He is not a dumb person. However, he has to see plainly that eventually when the shoe drops, everyone will know he's a liar.
Yeah.
Right?
So he's got to get the money while it's good.
And so like that's what he's doing. That's all he's doing.
There's a huge problem with people that misconstrue confidence with intelligence.
Yeah.
And Alex Jones, while he's not dumb, he is much more confident than he is intelligent.
It's the charismatic factor.
And Donald Trump is somehow neither. he is confident, but he's not charismatic. He's not smart whatsoever.
He's strongman. He's using strongman tactics, but not well.
Yeah, and so it's very.
Putin is a great example of strongman charismatic.
Have you seen the pictures of him on that horse?
No, but like I'm being completely serious.
Bear.
Putin is very scary. And here's why. This is a very this is personal to me.
Mm-hmm.
I know how terrifying and terrible he is. I've read enough about what he's done and the people he's killed to get out of his way.
Yeah.
Like, in no way he's a good person. And yet, I will see videos of him playing with dogs.
Yeah.
And I'll watch it and be like, aw.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
That is the sign of a very terrifying man.
Yeah.
Because he knows to balance out all the stuff that you've seen with unquestionably good videos that don't need to exist.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't need to do that, but he does it. And he doesn't do it because he needs to get the votes of the Russian people.
No.
He's got that through force. He does that so that the people on the world stage don't fear him.
Right.
Yeah.
So that he can influence unquestionably.
Yeah.
Because you'll hear things, but you'll see other.
You know what I think is interesting? And I know we're getting a little off topic here, but he speaks English, and yet anytime he has to interact with another world leader who speaks English, he has a translator. But he does it so that he has more time to think about what he's going to say. And I always think that is so
I assume
spooky.
it's just him so that he also knows, he's speaking Russian.
Yeah.
I think that's a pride thing, too.
And I'm also
people.
sure he's more comfortable speaking Russian than he is English.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But yes, that is actually a very popular tactic in the UN in general.
Yeah.
It's an easy way to stall for time without looking like you're stalling for time.
Right.
Yeah.
So, essentially, this whole episode is I'd want to go back to the 90s era of conspiracy theories with X-Files without having to, talk with assholes. You know what I mean?
Then I know I've got the solution.
What is it?
We need to resurrect Bat Boy. Hear me out. Bat Boy. Hear me out.
Bat boy.
Do you remember Weekly World News?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Weekly World News would be right there next to the National Enquirer in the grocery store as you're checking out.
Oh, yeah.
It was a little shitty
I didn't
rag.
even realize it wasn't even out anymore.
Yeah, it's dead. It's done.
Yeah.
It would be right there next to it. So you would see National Enquirer, who thought they were giving you the real scoop on celebrities and all this stuff.
George
Yeah.
And it was full of bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right next to a paper that knew it was bullshit.
Yeah.
But was doing it for your entertainment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? There's the difference. Conspiracy theories for entertainment are spectacular.
Oh, there's so much fun.
Because it's just having fun.
Yeah.
It's just having
The
fun.
Jersey Devil spotted over in Florida type stuff, weird
Bigfoot.
things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's where things like The Onion really help the world.
Yeah.
Because that type of satire, that type of poking fun at all of us
Yeah.
really helps people see the humanity of all of it. And I think that's what we need, is we need more Bat Boy.
Yeah.
We need more completely ridiculous conspiracy theories. For example, did you guys know that Marco Rubio owns a putt-putt course in Sarasota?
What?
Yes. Now, here's the thing about that putt-putt course.
Yeah.
It only has 16 holes. Interestingly, there was supposed to be a 17th and 18th hole, but no one can find them. They're not on the course themselves. A lot of people believe that Marco Rubio is the only person who knows where they are, and he is the only one allowed to finish a game of putt-putt at his own course. That's a true thing.
Is that true?
No, but that's my point.
Oh man, I was
Genius,
so
though.
lost.
It's
That's
a
what I want.
conspiracy
You got
for
me.
fun,
Yeah.
right? We need
It's not
more
four children
of
are buried
those.
under the
Yeah.
18th hole.
Right.
It's
It's just Marco Rubio
Yeah.
doesn't want anyone to finish his putt-putt course.
yeah.
He's the only one that's ever completed it. That's his claim, and I get that. That makes perfect sense.
That's very fun.
Yeah. Also, Rick Scott, Voldemort.
What?
We all
He
knew
is
that.
Voldemort.
No, that's
No.
not a conspiracy theory. That's
Oh,
real.
Yeah.
oh, I'm sorry. Okay,
That's
He
canon?
has already declared war
canon
on the
real?
Muggles.
actually, if you mix
That's his
up the
platform in the
letters in
Senate.
his name, including his middle name,
Yeah.
it does spell out "I am Lord Voldemort."
Does it?
Yeah.
Where's the V?
It's in his middle name.
Is it a-
Rick
middle name is-
Voldemort.
His middle name is Voldemort Ma'ai.
My.
So you
Voldemort
mix up the
May.
middle name and then just drop the first and last
Yeah.
name, and it says "I am Lord Voldemort."
You know me by my Muggle name, Rick Scott, but it's really Voldemort.
No.
Yeah.
Let me put on this fake nose.
Yeah.
Boop.
Let me
But
take
yeah.
off this fake
It's
nose.
it's harder though. I think with like so growing up, I love those things like aliens landing and all this
Yeah.
other stuff. And now I'm like, nah, there's cameras everywhere. It's really and drones. Like it's really impossible
That's
for
gonna
half
kill
this
it.
to go on.
No, but so that's the beauty of it. Is that's even more fun.
Yeah.
We even have a more interesting realm to come up with conspiracy theories
Yeah.
because now it's not no one was around with a camera. Now it's happening in between dimensions.
Oh,
so
yeah.
like
Oh,
I want to if we're going down the
wait.
road of conspiracy
Are we
theories,
going to the Bears?
I want to mention what I think is the conspiracy theory that will save conspiracy theories,
Okay.
and that is the Mandela effect. Is anyone familiar with the
yeah.
Mandela effect?
I love it.
So, for those of you at home, the Mandela effect is the idea that we have somehow, at some point, switched to a new timeline that we are not supposed to be in. Some of
Yeah.
us, not all of us, some. So, for example, there is a popular children's book
Yep.
called The Berenstain Bears.
Yeah.
Right? I remember when reading that book as a child, Berenstain being the Steen in it being spelled Stein.
Yeah.
And the reason why I mentally remember that is because I remember thinking as a little Jewish boy who went to Hebrew school, oh, that must be a Jewish family of bears. right?
Look at all those Jewish bears, huh?
I remember it
I didn't see any smear on their bagels.
That was the thought. Others remember it as Stain.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right?
Stein.
If you go and look at the books, it is spelled Stain.
Yeah.
I don't belong in this timeline.
Me neither. I was the Berenstain Bears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Ethan and I came from a timeline where Berenstain was spelled with a Jewish Steen at the end.
Yeah.
Whereas Victor and Nick,
No, I was definitely a Steen because I asked my
Oh,
mom same
shit.
thing. I was like, "Do you remember me having those books?" She goes, "What, the
Berenstain
Berenstain Bears?" And I'm like, "How'd you see it?"
No,
She
I
goes,
didn't say Stein.
EIN.
how was it spelled for
It was
you?
Steen every time. Berenstain Bears. Like that's
How
all
do
I
you
remember
spell
saying
it?
it.
How do you spell it?
I couldn't
Because it's
spell it.
pronounced
It's
Berenstain. We all
yeah.
knew
Oh,
it was
it's
I
pronounced.
can't
okay.
read.
It's about the spelling.
It is the spelling. Then Stine was what I remembered.
Okay.
It being, yeah, it's spelled.
Stien.
Or-
Victor's from
Yeah.
another planet.
Victor came
Timeline.
from an illiterate
I thought
timeline.
Berenstain.
No, it's just like the way I saw it. Alpha triangle.
Basically, it was either
45.
spelled Steen or Stain.
Stain. Yeah.
If you look at the books now, it's spelled Stain.
I'm thinking R.L. Stein. Sorry.
Different. It's spelled Stain in this.
We're talking
in this
about
timeline.
I wish I
right?
had them. I had a ton of them from the 80s, like when it came.
Here's
like,
the thing: you probably won't find them because
Yeah.
you probably left them in your old timeline.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and that's. So
I remember when
that's-
this came out, I was arguing for the same, like, no, it's this. And people were like, no, it's not. Google it. And I'm like, what the fuck?
And so that's the same idea. Like the reason it's called the
SCI.
Mandela effect
Yeah.
is people. There are some who believe Nelson Mandela died in prison,
Yeah.
which I also thought he died in prison.
I did not.
I
No,
didn't
he's-
either.
I did. I really did.
Really?
And it wasn't until like later, and I was. But with that one, I was just like, oh, I might have read that somewhere. That like
Yeah.
someone like I don't put credit in that. I don't remember reading a news story about it. I feel like I heard it.
Oh, so they tied to him? Really?
So they call it the
Okay.
Mandela effect because that was one of the first ones people noticed.
Oh, okay.
And there is a subreddit, our Mandela effect, that if you are not following, follow it because it's a
so
lot
good.
of discussion. There's some very fascinating ones. There are ones that have been disproven.
Yeah.
Right. Like so, for example, one that I always kind of thought was weird, which was very easily described, but I just needed someone who knew
Yeah.
to like confirm. Which is Weezer has the song. Oh my God, what's the
Oh,
Damn, I do know that too.
I just can't remember the name of that song.
God damn it.
Oh yeah.
Perfect Situation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Perfect Situation.
I love that song.
So
Yeah.
I bought that song on iTunes when it came out, and in mine, it's the it goes up the at the
Yeah.
end.
Yeah.
Whereas then when you hear it on the radio, it's and it goes down.
That has that, though.
Yeah.
Both of those are in the song.
No, they aren't.
What?
If you listen, one is a radio version and one was an
I was
album
gonna say,
version,
it
and they were
sounds
two
like just two
different
versions.
ones.
Oh, because I
But-
had the album. That's why
And on the
I had
album,
the actual CD.
it goes down.
Oh,
album
shit.
album
Yeah,
was
and
down.
Make Believe,
iTunes
yeah.
was up. Anyway, moral of the story: it always freaked me out because I had my one version on my phone
Yeah.
where it would go up, but then I'd hear it anywhere else and it went down.
Yeah.
And I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And
Yeah.
I posted that on Mandela Effect, and everybody basically was just like, "Yes, this was done because of XYZ.
Yeah. okay.
Here's my facts on it." Like,
Yeah.
but like it's a very fascinating subreddit, and I truly believe that type of conspiracy theory is what more people need.
Yeah.
It's harmless.
Yeah.
It's not aiming to ruin anybody's
No,
life.
no.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's
'Cause
fun conspiracy.
that's ultimately what. Yeah. I want more of those. I want more of. Like I saw one about Curious George. Does he have a tail or not?
No.
He doesn't. Yeah.
He doesn't, yeah.
I remember him having a tail. But
I
he
remember
doesn't.
hearing that one. Before,
Chimpanzees don't have tails, dummy. Got him.
Got me again.
Got him.
Oscar Mayer. Is that with an A or an E?
though. He doesn't even have a wiener.
I believe it's an E. M-E-Y-E-R.
No, M-A-Y-E-R.
It's E.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
M-E-Y-E-R.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that
Wait,
crazy?
what?
It's OSCAR
Right.
MEYER.
You know what? This is
Yeah.
just to confirm.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Oh shit! I mixed it up.
Yeah.
It's with an A.
I was like, I'm
But
literally
they're-
singing the song in my head right now.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. You mixed it up, Ethan. Way to go. You
Well,
ignorant.
great. No, the whole episode's garbage. Thanks for listening.
We're gonna scrap the whole thing now.
Back to
Thanks,
formula.
Ethan, for ruining an episode that you created. You asshole. But no, I love this topic because to me, I miss the days where we had these things for fun.
Yeah.
Another really good Mandela effect.
Yeah.
All right.
Fruit of the Loom. Have you guys heard about this one?
I've heard of
Yes.
this
No.
one.
You and
Okay.
I discussed this lengthily one night.
When you picture the Fruit of the Loom logo, what do you see?
It's with I'm cheating, so I
group?
do know this one. So what do you see, Victor?
The Fruit of the Loom. It's all the different fruits.
Yeah.
Arranged
Anything
style.
else? Arranged how?
Like in a pile.
Okay, just that?
Yeah.
Nothing else besides fruit.
Wait, did it have a bowl at one point? Is that what the...
Ooh.
I feel like their old logo may have had a bowl.
You're close, but
Did it ever have a cornucopia on it?
Oh, shit. I feel like it did a long time ago.
Oh, did it? It did not.
It never
Not-
did.
It never did?
It never did.
Never did. And I was
Because I remember the
convinced
packaging
it
as a
did.
kid.
Me
that
too.
It had a cornucopia.
I was convinced there was
That
a
it was piling out of
cornucopia.
it.
I remember just spending days Googling it.
Because
No,
I remember
spent like
because
half an hour.
every child remembers that logo because that's the logo that you would open a Christmas present and you'd be like, God damn it.
Yeah. You go,
That's
great.
what you're
Thanks.
No, I always got
thanks. I got
Hanes.
socks or yeah.
more
Wow,
fruit.
thanks.
Shit.
And then there's another one.
Time to crap in these.
This one's from. You guys ever see the movie Scary Movie?
Yes.
The
Yeah.
spoof of all the '90s horror films. There is a scene that people are talking about where Marlon Wayne says, "I see white people."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone remembers that?
I
do.
remember that.
That scene never happened.
What? No.
Yeah,
That was a theater.
There is
The only
all
reason I know
is
that is I just rewatched the movie last year, so I know that scene.
And he didn't say it.
that scene does not exist.
I was
What the fuck did
positive
you
he
say
said
for
it.
the Sixth Sense pun then?
There isn't a scene like
There's
that.
no Sixth Sense pun?
There might have been a Sixth
There
Sense
is a
pun,
Sixth Sense pun in
but
there.
I don't think he says "I see white
see
people"
white
at all. In
people.
fact, that's literally.
I saw that in theaters when
Here,
it came
I have
out.
the clip. I'm gonna play it for everyone. Here's the audio from A Scary Movie.
Wait. Fair use.
Sure, man. I see dead people.
Oh.
This shit is awesome.
But he didn't see.
Son, you gotta roll it more.
So yeah, he
Yeah.
just says, "I see dead,
Dead
people."
Okay, so that scene exists. I thought you were telling me that scene is not in the movie,
No, 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 no,
period.
but he
didn't
doesn't say-
I see. I was convinced he said I see white people.
Yep.
I watched that movie hundreds of times.
Oh, that might have been way too many watches for
Yeah.
that film. I'm going to be honest with you.
I watched that
like,
today.
sober?
No.
Okay.
I've seen that movie twice.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'd say
How often
twice,
do you
yeah.
watch these movies?
I've only seen that movie 2 or 3 times. Once like when it came out, once a year ago, and probably once in between.
I don't,
Maybe.
you know, I don't trust those movies.
Apparently, X-Files is going to be doing an episode about the Mandela effect.
Is
or
X-Files
did,
still going?
Or did do. I don't
X-Files
know.
did have 2 new seasons on Hulu.
Yeah.
Have you guys watched? Sorry, this is a whole other episode, so we should just end this one because
Yeah.
I'm moving on to like Twin Peaks
Yeah, let's not go down that rabbit hole because
Yeah.
we should do a whole Twin Peaks episode.
because I've never watched Twin Peaks.
I
Me
never watched
neither,
it either.
but I would love to
Season
hear
two.
everybody
Watch
talk
it?
about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I would love to sit and listen because I've never understood what that show is.
something about coffee.
For those of you who are listening at home, once you hear our social
They're
media
gonna be
plugs,
so
go ahead
mad
and
at
engage
us.
with us at our social media plugs and tell us whether or not we really should give any time to Twin Peaks.
Actually, you don't even have to be at home. I don't care where you're listening. Just please engage with us.
Yeah, if you're driving, go ahead and pull that phone out
Yeah,
and,
pull that
and
out.
Whip
shoot
it
us
out
a
and
quick
send
tweet.
us
Do,
the
do
tweet.
not drive and text or tweet.
Also,
we're not
have you
telling
guys
to do
ever
any of
listened to
those things.
YouTube while you're driving? And by listen, I mean watch avidly without letting your eyes
Do
go off
not
the screen.
listen to YouTube
It's
videos while you're
spectacular.
driving.
I'm like, oh, I love this Andy
Or
Griffith
operating
episode.
heavy machinery.
It's like drinking while you drive. It's just pleasurable.
Yeah, it just helps you. It takes the edge off of driving. You know,
I don't know. why
Driving's
I
so
said do
stressful,
not
and
drink
if
and
I can
drive.
just have, like, a
This
snifter
podcast
of
does not
brandy,
condone drinking
we're
and
doing
driving,
okay.
nor the use of other.
have you guys ever thought about maybe doing like a speedball before you drive?
Yeah,
God damn it.
That's some
Thought
cocaine and
about it?
heroin right
Have you
there.
ever driven backwards in your seat? Like you literally sit on your knees and you grab the steering wheel
that's
behind
cool.
you.
Do
It's
not
so
sit
much
backwards
fun.
in your knees. Do not
Because then you
imitate
can
Fast
see
and
if
the
people are
Furious.
behind you and then
Yeah.
trying to
Do
get around
also
you.
not to drive with your feet.
Have you
or any
guys
other
ever-
weird way of driving?
Have you
Drive
guys
normal.
ever done like reverse driving down the highway?
yeah.
This
I watched
podcast
it
is not
in
condone
Too
reverse
Fast and
driving.
Furious.
It
Yeah,
is not.
you
God
should
damn
try
it.
it.
If you ever miss an
just said
accident,
that
you're like,
disclaimer.
hell no.
Not
You just
today.
drive right off the side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why they put a suspension.
That's
on
called
your
a
car.
tourist trap.
By the way, just because people don't seem to know this is a little fun fact about Florida before
Yeah.
we wrap the episode.
Sure.
If you ever want to merge or change lanes in Florida, you don't have to look first. Just go. just
Go.
The
Go.
rest of the drivers will
signal?
part like
we know. The other drivers, we know.
We know where you're going.
We know to fear you.
Hey, there's Bill.
He's entering the highway. Everyone, slow down for a second
Wow.
because he's right across
Let's
all
let
4
him go.
lanes. Way to go, Bill. All right. Well, Ethan, this is a great episode.
Hey, thank
Yeah.
you. You guys really made it. Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
Guys? All right. Well, time to turn it off.